So today we had a very, very, what do you call it? We had a very light-hearted podcast planned, but again, it seems like we're having to discuss a lot of these police brutality, things more frequently. I don't know whether it's more frequently or not, but we're just having to discuss it a lot more now. If you guys don't know, there's been another incident in America where a policeman not stood, but
No.
yeah, and he knelt on a, I don't know if that's the right English, but he knelt on a 23-year-old black man's neck. His name is George Floyd, and which ultimately led to him blocking his airway, not being able to breathe properly, which ultimately led to his untimely death. So I just want to get you guys' opinions on this and just kind of your thoughts about all of this things that are still happening in 2020.
I think I just don't understand where the training is at. Like, why this keeps on happening. I don't understand why this is, because obviously I've seen that like they've been fired and stuff, but I just feel like it happens very, very common. Like, it's a very, very common thing. I don't understand why it's like.
Do you think it's a police? Do you think it's a police and black people thing, or do you think it's a white people and black people thing?
I just feel like more time they'll see like a black person and they'll probably see them as a threat and start moving mad for no reason. Because there's loads of things. I'm not going to generalize and say, oh, maybe they're not kneeling on white people's necks. But it's like every time I see this kind of stuff going on, maybe they don't report it when it happens to white people, but I always see like a black person, like one black person and more than one policeman, and they're just like trying to finish, man. Like, oh, why? I don't understand. Like, you're trained to, control those kind of situations with minimal police officers, but you've got about, I think there's like 6 there. How much is there?
Yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot.
More than needed.
And they had to kneel on man's head.
Yeah.
I don't know where. Yeah, go on.
It's definitely. I think it's definitely. What's the comment? I think it's a white people, black people thing. I'm not allowed to, and it just so happens, obviously, the way they're set up over there, we're definitely the minority. So even if it wasn't a police versus black people thing, and it was just a white people versus black people thing, because because they outnumbered them so much over there, it would still end up being the police.
It's outnumbered here also.
Yeah.
I think
regardless of whether it's a police or this, I think it's just before police, whatever, it's definitely a white people versus black people thing, because it's every other week that this is happening. But yeah,
it's becoming very, very hard to be a peaceful black man.
And this is what I was saying.
It's becoming very, very hard, because not all of us want to take the Malcolm X approach, where it's fuck every single white person. You know what I mean? A lot of us want to live in peace, and we want to live in harmony. We want to live in an equal world, in an equal society. But it's becoming increasingly difficult to be like that, because you see these things happening week in, week out, and it's not even they're happening and they're going unpunished, which is the worst part of it, because things like this happen in life. Yeah, like there's nothing new under the sun. You just have to you have to accept that. But then it's the fact that they're going unpunished, and nothing is happening to these people who are committing these offenses. And worse than that is then you then have people who are justifying this horrible things. And because of that reason, it's becoming increasingly difficult to be peaceful and not have some sort of resentment towards white people. I'm not saying I have resentment towards white people. I'm just saying it's becoming very, 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 very difficult, because I want to think about it in a logical way, because I wouldn't want somebody to look at me and judge me for something that, let's say, Ore's done now, because we're both black, right? But if Ore's done this today, and then Esmond, you do this tomorrow, and then somebody else does this on Wednesday, and then it keeps happening over and over and over again, it becomes very difficult not to paint everybody with the same brush.
I hear that one loud and clear.
But
every time this kind of happens,
this is what I was saying when we was talking about the whole Ahmaud Arbery case as well. When that happened, it was all peaceful protesting, this and that. When I said that, there's only so much that people can take. There's only so much you can do before things go left. And they've already started going left. Peaceful protesting when Ahmaud Arbery was killed has now turned into rioting. So these things are going to keep popping up. And people are going to start going off because there's only so much that people can take. You know what I'm saying?
And it's the whole idea that as Black people, all we are asking for is equality, and equality shouldn't be. It's not something that should be like. It should be like, oh, this is a gift. Oh yeah, well done. You're at least no. It's a right that everybody as human beings should have. Everybody as human beings should be equal to one another, right? And it just is sorry to cut you off. And it just seems that it's. I think a lot of people don't even know what equality is, because I think this is the one thing that Ez's cousin, because we were talking about like feminism and stuff. Because I know we joke about Anya and I say I'm a feminist and that, but it's because at the time I genuinely believed I'm a feminist. And she was telling, what was she saying? She was saying that, yeah, okay, cool. Well, why do I think I'm a feminist? Is it because I believe in equal rights for men and women? I was like, yeah, isn't that what the fundamentals of being a feminist is? And she said, yeah, to an extent, but then it's kind of like, how do you achieve equality? If you've been oppressed for thousands and thousands of years, is equality then achieved by us just saying, cool, I now view you as equal to me? No, because there has to be repercussions for those thousands and thousands of years that you've been oppressed. And that is what a lot of people and a lot of, I don't want to say just white people, but a lot of some Black people don't understand as well. Like it's very easy, because we don't even want repercussions for the past. Like we're like, cool, that's happened now. Like the minimum we just expect is just to be treated equally now. And still, it just seems like that is still very difficult to happen.
Well, I don't know about repercussions per se, because that's a bit hard to gauge, really. And let's say, like, cool, at some point we achieve equality for Black people. What are we gonna do? What are the repercussions gonna be for the people living in, 2020?
Bro, it's not even about repercussions. It's just a lot of it is more acknowledgement. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of it is acknowledgement. Like even with even with the most recent kind of, so with Nazi Germany, for example, with what they did to the Jewish people, then a lot of it I'm not saying that this obviously makes it all right, but they've acknowledged that this happened, and it's documented, and they've documented the effects that this has had on the Jewish community. I'm not saying that that's enough, but that hasn't been done for Black people yet. And what slavery technically ended, what, like 300 years ago?
And even then, I wouldn't.
But still, yeah, they refuse to say, cool, without Black people, America wouldn't be what America is. Without Black people, England wouldn't be where England is. Because yeah, you can say, oh, we traveled all over the world for colonialism to spread democracy, but that's fucking bullshit. We're gonna be honest, it's fucking bullshit. And there's lots of things that we're gonna talk about one day, where you've gone around Africa, you've gone around Asia, you've taken our precious artifacts, right? You've then put it in a fucking museum here, and we're gonna have to pay to go see our own fucking shit that we did. Are you fucking dumb? Are you fucking stupid?
It's part of the.
And then when we want to take it back, they say no, it doesn't belong to you. Who the fuck does it belong to then? It don't belong to you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. In order for things to move forward, whatever, all the stuff that you're talking about, in order for people to take action, it requires sacrifice, to be honest, because we've spoken about it on the pod before. We're going to speak about it again. Shit's going to keep happening. But other than talking, what actions will be taken to make things happen? Do you know what I'm saying? Because we've been speaking about this way before this pod, way before, I don't know, before Ahmaud Arbery, way before this. We've been speaking about it over and over and over again, right? So now instead of speaking about what's happened, maybe not us specifically, but the people over there, because well and truly, as much as we can talk over here, they're really the only ones who can do anything about it. It's time for them to at least start talking about the actions they can take to empower.
and this is to non-black people. This message is to the, I don't know, the whites, Asians, whatever. I don't care what race you are. Black people or people of color, we are a minority, and we all know, because we live in a democratic world, minorities don't cause enough changes. So as a white person, as a, I don't know, whatever race you want to consider yourself as, that's not black, and you see shit like this happening, and you might think, yeah, okay, this is unacceptable, but you're doing nothing to support it. I'm not gonna say you're equally as bad as the people who are doing these things, but you're not far off, because I don't know about you, but if I see injustice going on, I just can't. I don't know, but yeah,
No,
we're a minority, and things can't change. We can't change as much as we want to say, yeah, black people were strong with this, with that, and the third, bro. Clearly, we've been victimized at least for the last 700 years, bro. And we as black people, we're not powerful enough to change this shit.
not yet. And to be honest,
bro, you can say not yet all you want, but if you're in a place where this isn't Sparta, bro, where 300 people can kill off 300,000,
yeah,
bro.
but we're not slaves no more. So instead of saying we're not powerful enough, it's time to start thinking, how can we make moves with what we have to get to a different place? Do you get what I'm saying? Because either way, whether we talk about it or whether we let things happen, either way, we're gonna have to take action, and action is gonna lead us to a better place. Do you get what I'm saying? So but understanding that we're the minority plays a part. So you know what you're working with. You know that our voices, it's hard to hear our voices. You know it's hard for us to reach certain places. You know that people are in certain places to hold black people back. You know that when injustice happens, we're gonna go on the riot, we're gonna go on a whatever talk, and then boom, it dies down for a couple of weeks, blah blah blah. Stuff like that's gonna happen. But we got to work with what we have, and call a minority. Let's work with that. Do you know what I'm saying? But for me, I think we've done more than enough talking. We've done more than enough talking. At the very least, let's talk about what we can do with the numbers that we have, the people that we have, the places that we've reached as black people in society and economy and all of that stuff there. Let's talk about those things that we've acquired so far and how we can use it to benefit the future, so that things like this it's not going to immediately stop, but at least to work.
But don't you think that's so fucked that we have to accept the fact that this is not gonna, bro? This is what week is this? What week is this of the podcast? Week what? Week 4? Week 5?
5.
Oh, week 5, bro. There's been like 4 incidents in 5 weeks of people who shouldn't be dead, who are dead. And do you think it's perfectly acceptable?
Of course,
I know there's nothing we can do about it, but I don't know how you can come to terms with the fact that we just have to go, oh, calm. We're working for the future. By week 10, does this mean that we would have had to say R.I.P to like 7 different black men?
It's not an calm. Are you hearing that? Cool. It's not a calm. We're working towards the future, but not to say there's nothing we can do. Nothing that I'm not gonna lie to you. The way I see it, nothing that we do right now is gonna immediately change what's going on. Because whatever was happening before this whole wave of killing black men, police brutality, all of that stuff, like whatever was happening before has only helped in certain situations where a lot more police brutality would have gone on and gone unnoticed and gone unpunished. Do you know what I'm saying? So it seems like a bleak future, but the more things that we do now, the better the future will look. Whereas if you don't do anything, or we act out and it's all crazy, and that 10 years down the line, well, we're still in the same place because we've gone, fuck it. It's mad that it's happening, but we're not going to do anything, or we're not going to do this and that. But I think, forget thinking that we're going to do this right, or we're going to do this move, we're going to do this whatever, and then next week Thursday, police brutality is going to stop, or black people are going to stop getting killed. It's not going to happen by next week Thursday. It's not going to happen in 2 years. It's not going to happen in a month. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a very gradual change, and depending on what we do, that can either come quickly or take forever. So I think not even quickly. Quickly is not the wrong word. Quickly is the wrong word. I think either way, no matter what we do, it's gonna be a gradual change. It's not gonna be happening in the next couple of years because things just don't automatically switch like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think we just need to understand that yes, we're a minority, but there's still shit that we can do. And even though it seems like it's not doing a lot right now, if we do enough, we can look back in a couple months, in a couple years, and think, yeah, we're here.
We made a change.
It's not far. It's not crazy far, but this is what we
Mhm.
did, and this is the outcome, and we can build on that, and that can. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if we just look at it in a bleak manner, then boom, it's just gonna be us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Going around in that one fat cycle of just depression, hatred. You want to lash out at white people, but certain people want to take the peaceful route. Black on black violence, all of this, it's all one fat circle in it. So I think just opening that up a bit and thinking about what we're going to do to change the future is probably the best outcome. Obviously, that being said, we also need to think about justice as well, because you can't do that to my man. And
the worst that happens to you is you get fired. You get fired.
That's crazy. But that's a result of us not being in the position that we need to be to make changes. Do you get what I'm saying? That's just a result. Yeah, it's a result of us not being in the positions that we need to be in to make changes. Because if there was no phone, and for a lot of the cases that we're seeing, it's fortunate enough that someone's recorded it, but that's only for the cases. So imagine
exactly. So think about the ones that we're not seeing.
That's what the change is for. Because cool, we've seen all of this stuff, but all the people that we're not seeing, all the people that have been kidnapped, that have been murdered, all the kids that have been, all of this stuff there, all the black men, black women whose lives have been taken, mostly men in this situation, it seems. The change that we just do, the things that we
recorded, man.
Recorded. So the things that we do now isn't just to help the people that we see, it's to help the people that go unnoticed. Do you know what I'm saying? There's bare people, thousands of people that go unnoticed in it. So I think the best option, at the very least, because not that I hate black people complaining, but sometimes it just seems like we're not talking about making a change. And it can be
and I wanna add one more thing, yeah. All those people who, I don't know, obviously, like with the Ahmaud Arbery case for example now, like, yeah, we can all agree that social media helped that in terms of pushing it and, you know, helping people who didn't know about the situation find out about the situation.
Definitely.
But I think our generation needs to understand that, because if you think about it, in the 60s, 50s, what racism was then is very different to what racism is now. Right back then, it was all in your face, and it was the result of our grandfathers, our fathers, who pushed it to the point where now at least they're not bold enough to be racist to your face no more. They don't. I mean, it's not. Some places are still like that, but they're not calling you nigger this to your face no more.
But
it's a result. No, they're saying it in their. No, but it's not as much. I'm saying in terms of them. Yeah, it's not like
you're out on Thursday
back
evening.
then. Yeah,
you're walking down the street and the guy's saying,
back then,
niggas ain't allowed
exactly.
here. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what it was like back then.
A man will say that. Like back then. Man will say that.
And it'll be calm.
Yeah, man will go back.
It'll be calm. That's just a typical Thursday night for him.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a typical Thursday.
Now you can't
but
say
then
that.
it's due to the work that our fathers and our grandfathers, our grandmothers and our mothers have done in order to get us to this point now. I just don't want us to then stop and just think that the only way to then combat racism now is through fucking social media. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the racist in, I don't know, Alabama aren't scrolling through Twitter and going, because underscore at big sexy blah 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 this, I said this, I'm not gonna be racist no more. I've changed, I've healed. No, it don't work like that. And I get it's coming from a good place in your heart where you're thinking, oh, let me post this. But then we have to get to a point where you have to understand that is no longer enough.
But
that is no longer enough.
And saying that, you have to realize that, one, as much as crazy as it sounds, you have to be bold to take the step to be in a position where you're making changes. Because let's look at it though. Black people are getting killed for injustice. Like black people are getting killed for stupid things, right? Then you, as a black person, you want to stand out or stand forward in order to make sure that there's a future for other people. And even right now, that black people aren't getting killed. Not only are you going to be, I won't say the forefront of it, but there's sacrifices that you have to make. Let's say, for example, I want to, I don't know, speak out against so black people getting killed, blah, 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 right? If the moment I start to gain buzz, the moment I start to get attention, the moment I start to gain support, and let's say it moves in a positive light, it's not violence, it's not any of that, it's speaking and educating people and blah, blah, blah. Who's going to take notice? Black people, obviously, and hopefully they'll come together and support. But who else is going to take notice? Other races, white people, right? And it becomes a thing where they won't challenge you openly because obviously you're fighting to improve the lives of other black people, but you're going to be challenged in other ways. Your family's going to be challenged. If you have a business, if you work, anything that you do is under scrutiny and under fire because you're in that spotlight.
Yeah.
So as much as it sounds like an easy decision, why wouldn't you want to do that?
Of course, no. I'm not saying this. I know by no
tough.
means is an easy
saying.
decision. I know it's because when we look at the two most iconic figures in a way, when you look at Malcolm X and you look at Martin Luther King, ultimately both ended in the same way. They were both assassinated.
Yeah.
One preached peace, equality, and the other kind of preached by any means necessary.
Yeah.
And even then, it still ended in the same way for both of them. But I know it's not going to be easy. But all I'm saying is, it's got to be done because this is becoming ridiculous, bro. This is and I know a lot of people who are not from, like, I don't even want to say people are not from Africa, but a lot of people who didn't grow up in Africa, we have this sense of, let's go back home, let's do this, let's do that. But as a result of colonialism and as a result of slavery, the idea of Africa that you have isn't what Africa is. But then it's about what we can start doing, what our generation can start doing now to start building Africa back up.
But not even just
where
that.
It's at the forefront of civilization.
Not even just that. You have to realize a lot of people, cool, let's go back to Africa. Putting that aside, bruv, like generations of growing up in America over there. Some people can, like, that's their home. So it's not a thing of let's go back to Africa. It's
no, of course.
What can we do to improve the nation that we're in? Because that's home, like that's where I'm from. So some people want to go back to Africa, bro. Let me not lie to you. You ain't been to Africa.
At some point, bro. At some point, I don't know when this is gonna be, but at some point you have to realize that, bruv. Your grandparents have lived here, your great grandfathers have lived here. At some point, you just have to realize that you're not welcome.
Yeah, true. But
as hard as that is as hard of a pill that is to swallow, you have to. If this keeps happening, bruv, you have to just understand that. Cool, they brought us here not by choice. We didn't come here by choice. They brought us here through slavery, and we've stayed. We've made the best of the situation. We've built up this fucking country for them, and still yet they don't want us. So I don't know what it is, but at some point you just have to understand that they're not wanted. We're not wanted. We're not wanted. We're not wanted here. We're not wanted in America. But we're not wanted in those places.
People are not going to give up that fight easily. Like, there's no way, man. I'm telling you, they're not leaving, bro. I'm telling you. So you can't. I hear what you're saying, but they're staying over there. I'm telling you, no one's kicking them out like that. Do you know what I'm saying? As peak as it's getting, you have to realize that some people, the way we consider Africa home, some people consider that home for them. So it's not a thing of let's go back to Africa, which is a silly idea because, bro, if you've been there, you know that it's peak over there as well. And it's got its own troubles and its own struggles and so on and so forth. And there's a lot of work to do over there. So it's not let's go back to Africa. It's let's figure out what the fuck we're going to do about this situation over here. And also what you said, how the hell are we going to do, what we're going to do about our nation to build up, to be the forefront of civilization, like you said, because there's bare work that needs to be done over there. That being said, though, we are improving over there. But that aside, I think sacrifices are going to need to be made because when you take action, you're going to be sacrificing a lot. And I think people need to understand that as well. So